One of the things that new homeschool parents are always asking me about is, what do I need in my homeschool room? So I thought today I would talk to you about some of the things that I mentioned to those parents before they put too much money and time and effort into setting up a homeschool room, because I think this is something that is going to help a lot of you and save you some money as well. If you have not yet joined my mailing list, go to goodschooling.net, scroll to the bottom, put your email address in, and you will get all sorts of advice and hacks and homeschooling help throughout your whole homeschool year and journey. And it's stuff like this that we talk about. And this is the thing that is the most important to remember when you are trying to decide, where are we going to do our homeschooling? What is that room going to include? What's it going to look like? Here's the most important thing to remember. Life is not compartmentalized, and learning shouldn't be either. So we tend to think, when we first start homeschooling, we tend to think of education and school as looking like what we all went through, right? Public school. You're in a classroom. There's all this stuff on the walls. We've got globes. We've got a whiteboard. We've got, a microscope, all this stuff. The stuff can be good, but when you are homeschooling, you have the option, the opportunity, the freedom to take your child's education all over the world, instead of just being stuck in a room. Life is not compartmentalized, and your child's education shouldn't be either. When we say this is our room where school happens, this is where we learn, what we're doing is we're sending this idea to our kids. We're sending them this message that this is the only place that learning really counts. And when we go other places and we do other things, that's not really education. You're not really learning there. This is where the learning happens. But that's not true. Learning happens through not just every room in your house, but all over your neighborhood, all over your town, all over your state, right? And so if we compartmentalize ourselves and we stick ourselves in one place and we try to kind of ground ourselves there, then we stop thinking about all of the opportunities and places that we have that we can go to get new experiences and have new opportunities and meet new people and try new things. And those are some of the richest experiences that we can give our kids that we're not going to have if we're keeping ourselves sequestered in that room all the time. So the first thing to think about and remember is that life is not compartmentalized, and your child's education shouldn't be either. The second thing to think about is that decoration can be very distracting, particularly if you have a child who is already kind of struggling with attention and focus. If you put all sorts of stuff on the walls, and you've got posters, and you've got bulletin boards, and you've got pictures, and you've got all of this stuff, that's what they're going to be looking at. Their attention is constantly going to be pulled all over the place. At this time of year, the beginning of the school year, all over Facebook, I see pictures from teachers in classroom, teachers, not homeschool teachers in classrooms showing pictures of what their classroom looks like. And every single time I'm like, oh my word, I could never learn if that was my classroom. I would never be able to focus. There is way too much going on. I know that a room that is just minimally decorated sounds really boring, but it is the best way to ensure that your child can actually focus on the task at hand. If you've got a workbook in front of them, that's where you want their attention to be. You don't want it on the walls. You don't want it, going all over the place, right? And when you have a child, like I said, who's got those struggles, we want to help them. We want to make things easier on them. And putting all sorts of bright, colorful stuff all over the room is not going to help. Now, this obviously does not mean that we shouldn't have things like globes and microscopes and, educational stuff. Of course you want that stuff. Stuff is great. But remember, too, that stuff does not always have to be out. And when you're homeschooling, it can be very easy for your house to kind of be taken over by all of the stuff. Think about, where can we put this stuff when we're not using it? It does not always have to sit out. There are some things that you may want to leave out so that your child has the opportunity to, engage with it kind of on their own time. You're kind of hoping that they'll maybe go put some stuff under that microscope or, spin that globe and look around. Absolutely. Things like that, for sure. Let that stuff be out. Let it be, but maybe keep it in the playroom. right? There's no reason why it can't be played with. I mean, if you've got a really good microscope, maybe you don't want to do that. But, think about, what is the purpose of all this stuff? The purpose of the stuff is to teach, right? So let it be out where they're going to use it, but don't let it become a distraction so that your house is taken over and you feel like there's stuff everywhere, because that is also, the more clutter there is, the more distracting it's going to be. If you can have a particular place where your kids are comfortable, where they are going to be able to focus, those are the most important things. It doesn't have to be a desk. Most of our work gets done on the couch, or on beds, or on a yoga ball, or, when they were little, it was on the floor. It doesn't matter where they're working as long as they can work, right? You can see today I'm filming from my car, and that's because that's just kind of how life is today. There have been plenty of times where we've said, okay, pack it up, y'all. We've got a bit of a drive ahead of us, so bring your math. You can work on that, while we're on our way. Or we've got doctor appointments today. I know they're going to be backed up. They're always backed up. Bring it with, and we'll do it in the waiting room, right? Or we just say, we're just not going to bother today, which happens a lot too. But the point is that you don't have to have a very special spot where everything is, and where we're going to go do all our school there. There are those of us who love to decorate. When I was a classroom teacher, I loved setting up my room and my bulletin boards and all that stuff. And it's very easy for those of us who have that kind of mindset to bring that home and want to decorate, that special spot where we're going to have all of our school stuff. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a place to put all of your homeschool stuff, right? You don't necessarily want it throughout your house. Sometimes it's very nice to be able to compartmentalize the stuff in one spot so that it's not strewn everywhere, right? But when it's time to start working, you can get what you need, bring it to the place where you're comfortable, where your kids actually want to work, and then you can work there, right? Every house that we have lived in since we have started homeschooling has had the perfect homeschool room. We have ended up using those rooms probably for about 2 months total, and then realized our girls don't like being there. Those rooms were never in kind of the heart of the house. They were never in a place that was like central to where kind of the rest of the action was. They always wanted to be down in the kitchen, or down in the family room, or down in the front room of the house where they've got the window and they can see out to the street. So we realized, this is a great place to keep everything. But when it's time to actually start our homeschool for the day, that's not where we end up doing it. We say, okay, go get your stuff and bring it here. And we would do our work wherever here happened to be, right? So as you are thinking about what you want to do for your homeschool stuff, where you're going to store everything, where you're going to, put those bookshelves, if you're going to get those, where you're going to put the bins, or whatever kind of storage stuff you're going to do, realize that you do not have to also make that a space where you're going to learn. That depending on your kids' personalities, that may not be where they want to be. It might not be the most comfortable place. And there's no difference between learning on a couch and learning at a desk, rather, right? Other than the fact that, typically the couch is a lot more comfortable. And if you're comfortable, chances are you're going to be able to focus a lot more. And that's kind of important, right? So as you think about what you're going to do this year, just keep in mind the fact that decoration can be really distracting, that you want to keep it minimal, that you want to keep it simple, that you do not want anything vying for your child's attention when you're trying to teach. Secondly, learning should not be compartmentalized. And lastly, the connection that you have with your kids, the relationship that you build, and the experiences and opportunities that you give them is significantly more important than the stuff, right? Than creating that educational ambiance at home. That's not what we're going for when we homeschool. We're going for connection. We're going for relationship. We're trying to show them how learning is connected to life. It doesn't have to be separate from it. So I hope that has been helpful for you all. Remember that if you're not yet on the mailing list, go to goodschooling.net, scroll to the bottom, put your email address in, and you will get all sorts of homeschooling help throughout the year. So have a great day, y'all, and I will talk to you again later. Take care. Bye.